Alrighty, let me set this down. Ah, have myself a happy seat. Kick on some lighting. Grab my drink. All right. Ooh, you know what? Hold on. That's probably a little bit. That'll probably be better. Let's see. Yeah, that is better. Uh, how are we all doing? I figured it'd be time for it's a Monday. I got a little bit of spare time today, so I thought we would have ourselves a little bit of a reptile chat, right? So how's everybody doing? I already saw one comment on K-State winning. I thank you. That's why we're supporting the team today, because they had a wonderful win. And believe it or not, as a matter of fact, if you guys watched it on TV and you looked really close at the second touchdown, you'd have seen me standing there on the sideline. My employer was cool enough to give us some all access passes, so we got to go to the press box, hang out, and watch the game from the sideline. Kind of a once in a lifetime thing. It was pretty cool, so I really enjoyed that. Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus. That's a bummer. Hopefully, it's from old age. I mean, and unfortunately, the time comes with any pet. I've been there. I've been there myself a lot. So I found a lot of animals. The more animals you have, the more animals you're gonna have die. It's just a numbers game. So I feel your pain, which doesn't mean much, I know, but I do. So, what are my thoughts on Aki monitors? If I if I ever like lizards, she's 2. That's not too old at all. Man, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea what's causing it? 6 weeks, I wouldn't be too concerned. I mean, they're Ricky. They sometimes go off. I'm not a big corn snake guy. I'm more of a python guy. So ever watch I'm the Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? No, never even heard of it. I don't get to watch much TV. Uh, basically, yeah, so I have to concentrate when I'm reading. Basically, I really have to try to concentrate on what we are, what we're doing like here. And then I cut out some time to watch sports. I'm a big sports fan, so I do cut out time to watch K State and to watch the Vikings. Today I have to go watch K State at live at a basketball game while watching the Vikings on my phone. It's going to be crazy. So wish me luck on that one. And New York, well, the cool thing here, hi, South Africa, that's awesome. Is when it comes to buying a python, it doesn't really matter if you're in New York or California. You can shop online from reputable sources. So if you don't have a good source there, I really strongly suggest certain sources here that I really like. One, of course, is myself. I'm a shameless self promoter, so join up on Patreon and go for it. If we don't have what you're interested in, I always recommend tall grass reptiles. I've had great luck with the animals I've purchased from them. They've all been very, very healthy. I also have a huge amount of respect for JKR. You're going to get good stuff from Justin Koblika. I also think you can't go wrong with constriction addiction. I know last time, how's it going, Alex? Last time I bought a snake from him, it came 3 times the size I expected and extremely healthy. So, you're going to be in good company there. So there's a lot of places you can buy from. As far as in New York itself, man, find a show. There's going to be plenty. Go to one and visually inspect everything. That would be my suggestion there. So, and Ricky's asked if I sell the general public, not in the U.S., if not in Patreon, on Patreon. The general public, I only sell in the U.S. currently. So, and James, I'll get to that because that's a great question. I only sell to and I'll also get to the COPPA thing here in a minute, Ryan's, because I got some thoughts on that. Uh, they're going to surprise you. Let me tell you that. So, we do sell the general public, but in the United States. But the problem is Patreon gets first crack and they buy up most of them. As far as benefits, and you guys let me catch up, so I'm not going to be following the questions for just a second. I got to catch what's been asked. As far as the benefits on Patreon, if you're in the UK, obviously you can't buy the snake. So that right there is the biggest benefit. It is kind of taken from you, and I'll be open. I'll be fully honest about that. However, you get a lot of extra content. You're going to get to talk to me a lot more because we finish the lives here. We always do lives on Patreon. So much smaller crowd. It's easier for me to see everything and get to everything. So there is that. And I will cover donations to the beard. We're actually kind of done collecting this year. We've hit December. They're going to let me keep the beard though, which is awesome. And we've collected, I think, just shy of 700 at this point. So I got to do one more transfer from PayPal to go collect all that and turn it all in. But I will share a grand total when I have the full total with you guys. But you do get extra content. You get more access to us. Those are the main two benefits. Plus the community. The community that we've built there is vastly more knowledgeable than myself alone. So there are things you're going to learn there that it's going to be awesome, right? So I think that is a big benefit. But the biggest benefit being the animals. I will ship T-shirts to the UK. We've been very successful at that. I've only ever had one address come back to me from a foreign place saying not good to go. So, and I didn't know if I saw what Cody asked, Cal, and you're gonna have to help me on that. So that would be really what I would suggest on benefits. You do lose the animal benefit, but you gain all the rest of those benefits. So it's really up to you if it's worth it. You know, that's something you have to decide. I can't tell you if it is or not. There's no harm in trying it. I mean, you throw in a $5 at it to give it a shot and see what you think. But another question I saw on there that I wanted to address, we kind of hit, I think, the total for the beard card, the beard going on. We hit the question about UK benefits. It was about the COPPA or COPPA or whatever the hell they're going to call it. So in the UK, yes, those are some good breeders in the UK. And also there is another one, UK Marcus J. Oh no, Marcus Jane's Canada. My bad. So yeah, those are some goods in the UK. Anyway, on to the whole new changes for YouTube. First of all, let me start off by saying this. YouTube hates me anyway. YouTube has pretty much stopped promoting our videos the way they were in general, almost across the board. I don't know why, and frankly, fuck them. I don't really care. So there is that. I mean, I think I have some ideas as to why they do that, and if that's the case, and I have some responses to it that probably I shouldn't say here. I'm going to be me, no matter what they do. Now, on to the COPPA thing. You're hearing all these people freak out about it and making this big damn drama, right? Let me tell you, it's nothing. It's a big nothing burger. I'm not going to change a damn thing I would do. I've heard people saying, well, I wouldn't even start YouTube now, blah, 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 blah. Screw that. Here's what it boils down to, okay? It boils down to being honest with yourself and what you are. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, we are not we're not a channel geared towards children. We're a channel geared towards thanks Sasquatch. Anything comes in today, we'll still definitely share with the charity for sure. They collect money all year long. This is just their big drive for it. But with the whole COPPA thing, what they're really wanting you to do is they're going to make you identify your videos as one of three things, more or less. Not safe for children, right? Safe for children, not marketed to children, and marketed to children. Here's a kicker. If you market to children, that's what you're saying. I market to children, children in this case being 13 and under, then what is going to happen is you're not going to get the same ad revenue. You're not going to get the same ads because YouTube can't collect data there. Therefore, they can't target ads, and targeted ads is where the money's at. So these people who are doing videos, they're like, la, 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 that kind of crap, they're going to suffer. They're going to take a hit because you can't collect data on children, right? Okay, I don't do that. So I don't care. Not my bag. I mean, we swear a lot. We talk about, topics with animal safety and health. But the only thing we could do, you could say market to kids, is we show animals. But animals isn't marketing to kids. I'm an adult. I'm damn near 40 and I love animals. I'm going to guess most of you on here are over 13 and also love animals. So I don't think it has anything to do, our channel is not marketed towards kids at all. So we'll be selecting most likely the kid-friendly because, we're not sitting here trying to show a bunch of nudity, and I don't cuss up a complete storm most of the time, and those we're kind of PG-13. So that's kind of where we're going to be. The scary part is if you click not marketed to children, right, which is what we're going to be saying, we're not marketing to children, and they find you are marketing to children, then you can be nailed with some major fines through the federal government. YouTube isn't responsible. That's a deal they cracked. Now, I kind of agree that that's the the right deal. And the reason I think that's the right deal is how in the hell could YouTube even possibly police all of us? They can't, man. They can't. To expect them to do that would be retarded. And they do enough retarded crap without us expecting them to do more retarded stuff. Or, it's probably the wrong word. I'm sure it's not PC. Hence why YouTube hates me. But, oh man, the stuff at least will let your whistle, but ain't the best. So, it's a nothing burger. It's nothing. As long as you're not lying about what you are. And if anybody tried to sue me and say, "Oh, Olympus Reptiles markets to children," I just got to go push play. You know what I mean? Who cares? Like, I'm definitely not marketing to children. Are there channels that are going to suffer? Yeah, there are. Is that fair? I don't know. I don't care. It's just one of those things. So, uh, creators are not the ones who control data collection. That's absolutely true, Beth. And we'll get back to snakes, but this topic's been hot for a lot of people. And I've seen a lot of people who are saying the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And sometimes I think people just do that to get views. I'll be honest. Oh, the sky is falling, and they get views. That's what's going on. So, you know, uh, you know, uh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about too, Dwayne Addis, with that. But here's the thing: I don't know. Like that one's a tough one for me. I don't really support how they do things. But my Thanksgiving was great, Ashley. I've seen a few people ask. I do want to kind of tiring. I'll explain. I drove a lot, but yeah, I don't know if they're screwed or not, though. I mean, here we are talking about Coyote Peterson and Brave Wilderness. Do you think that they market to children? If you think they market to children, the guys I think they're screwed are your comic book guys and your video game streamers and your toy reviewers. Them dudes. Them dudes are effed in the A. Okay, they are. You know, I don't have time to watch everybody else, Tracy, and so I just read an article on it, read a little bit, laughed about it because I thought it was stupid, and I'm just moving on with my day. That's the whole thing. They're also not likely going to come after channels like me who are sitting at 48,000 subscribers. They're going to try to find one big major channel who's screwing it up and make an example of them because the federal agency that's overseeing it doesn't have the manpower. You know, and here's the thing. And boy, this is going to be, oh my God. Here's the thing, guys. So this is going to sound probably counterproductive from somebody with a YouTube channel. But here it goes anyway. And that is this. Like, if you watch, now, now, I'll cover that in a minute. That's retarded. Well, I shouldn't say it's retarded. You can, but not doing this. Like, again, people are just fear mongering. The sky is falling. Oh my God, the sky is falling. I haven't even watched anybody else's video on it. I've heard some highlights and people tell me what people have said. So take it with a grain of salt because I don't really know what anybody's saying. But what I'm telling you is what I've read, what I believe. And I'll flat tell you if you form your opinion on what this is from watching people on YouTube, you got to remember there are people out there, okay, whose sole job it is to try to get big on YouTube. That's it. That's all they're trying to do. Okay, they'll want to produce a few snakes here, and and I'm talking in the snake hobby, but it's through every hobby, right? It's through everybody. Uh, and place it here, I will, but I want to cover some of this first because this has been a hot topic for people. So then we'll get to some snake questions. But I cannot possibly see everything that comes in. You have to understand, one of me and currently over 100 of you. So it's really hard to do. And what I mean is, though, see, you guys get my track. I got to come back on to where I was. So when your sole job and the only thing you really care about is growing your YouTube channel, right? Then you've got to jump onto everything and make the most dramatic bullshit out of it you can. That's just the way it works because you got to get that clickbait. You got to get people to watch. You got to get people to feel like, oh my God, you know what? They got to rally around you and they got to do all this shit. And that's great. Here's the thing with us and why I can say that and why I come at people a little different. uh, why I come out the haters a little different. Because my sole goal, YouTube is a side gig to my side gig to my side gig, right? This isn't where I'm going to make my money. Uh, the idea of you can go from 30K a year to 3K, or YouTube's never said that. And that would be if you're running a child channel. Well, if you're running a child channel, hey man, sorry, shit just happened. You know, you have to adjust. Uh, but if you're not, you're fine. And we're not. On top of that, you guys can go look. There's a website called Social Blade. Okay, you can pop in the numbers. We as YouTubers are not allowed per YouTube contract to share with you what we make. So anytime a YouTuber says, I make this much on YouTube, they're doing one of two things. One, they're generalizing and lying, or two, they're violating the rules, which YouTube will ban your ass for. So take that into consideration. Social Blade will give you a pretty good estimate on what a YouTuber makes. Will give you a very high and low. Usually it's somewhere in the middle, but you can check on that. It's all based on views, based on ad rates, things of that nature. So you'll be able to kind of see, right? Oh, random. Look at that. We've got a troll. The sad thing is, I've actually eaten snake, and it is okay to eat snake, although I'm pretty sure you didn't do that. But that's okay. You can comment all kinds of shit you want. I don't give a fuck. So, so now we can move on from that topic, unless you guys have more COPPA questions, get back to some snake stuff, like what Margaret has to say. Just till she started watching this, she thought the only good snake was a dead one, ran to a copperhead, and he is still alive, plus leaning towards buying one. That is really awesome. And recently I talked to somebody who just joined her Patreon, and they said that they were terrified of them until their granddaughter wanted one, so they started getting into it. And then bam, now they're looking at it like a small side business and something to bond with their grandchildren over. And each one of their grandchildren have a snake at their house that's theirs, and just really cool. So I love hearing things like that. To me, that is awesome, right? So as far as wanting to try rattlesnake, Ryan's, I've eaten a lot of rattlesnake before, believe it or not. I'm an animal lover, but I also love to eat them. It is what it is. So what I would say is basically I like it off the grill. My favorite. Fried, it kind of tastes like chicken. So and then somebody said the baby rattlesnake someone found and brought to your pet shop. We still have it. It still hasn't eaten for us. It has a little pinky mouse in there. We're trying to like leave it and see if they'll eat it, but it may or may not. Hopefully it does. I think it will when it gets hungry enough. The issue is with dealing with rattlesnakes. If it was a baby ball python or a baby something else, even that two-headed garter snake, we had it for a while. It was no big deal. That one was scary, but to be able to hold that and take a pinky leg or something of that nature and kind of assist feed it or force feed it, that is not easy to do with the rattlesnake. And babies as small as Massasaugas are damn near going to be impossible. So we just it's going to eat on its own or it ain't going to make it. I mean, that's going to be the sad thing. So somebody asked what my favorite snake out there right now and who was it produced by. Uh, well, damn, here's the thing. This is going to sound really shameless, but there's two. And one of them's mine, one of them's not mine. Well, they're both mine. But I think if your favorite snake out there isn't one of your own snakes, then you probably don't know your animals that well, right? So, and you can still put in a different mail. And what I mean is, like one of my producers would be my zebra bee Zeus. Zeus is busy right now. He's breeding. That's why we're not having a lot of snakes out. We are in the middle of mixing and breeding. So that's happening. But he's locked up with a pastel exanthic female. He is my favorite. I love him. He was one of my first major goals. He's awesome. He's everything I wanted to be. He was a perfect example of the morph I was trying to create. And yep, it's an exanthic bee. And yeah, there's a ton more out there, I know, but it doesn't matter. That's my favorite. My other favorite is one that was not produced by any breeder, but was, I believe, most likely, I say most likely, because I'm not 100% sure, captive farmed in Africa would be the best way to say it, and imported over here, and that is a Lilith. Lilith being my Gaboon Viper. She's in shed right now. And yes, Matt is the name of the host. Hi, I'm Matt. And so, uh, yeah, she's awesome. She's grown so well. She eats great for me. I love her. She was just featured in a recent video that YouTube failed to promote for us, showing her feeding and also showing her shed of fangs. If you didn't see that, go check it out. A random, I don't know if I should take that even as a serious question or not based on your other comments, but probably not. So, getting post-lay females back on feed, and which Xanthic line do I breed? Well, first we'll start the Xanthic line. I use SK line is what I use. The reason I use SK line is the first one I found a great example of. It's no better than VPI. VPI is no better than it. And again, anybody who tells you one's better than the other is just someone being a dipshit. So that's kind of what I would say. Now, as far as I forgot the second half of the question, I'll be really honest. I'm sorry. They're in the racks of the paper owls. Oh, due to high humidities where your snakes are, place it. Then, I mean, that's where I would keep them. For high humidity, paper towels are pretty good. I typically add coconut to mine because I think I can better up and relate it. So I have not got the Wi-Fi here yet. I'm still waiting for them to install it. So, and Wildland Warrior Coda, as far as the beard goes, it's all up to my employer. So typically we have a no facial hair policy at work. They postpone it for November for us to do this. They've decided to postpone it on into December. So we're looking at a policy allowing us to keep. Here, I'll help you out, Anna. We'll just do this. Problem solved. Let us keep it full time. Which, if that happens, I probably will keep it for a while, just because. When was the last time I got to have one, right? So that's going to be what's going to end up happening. So anyway, I don't know if I'll keep it forever, but I will keep some facial hair for a bit. It's my entire adult life. I have not been allowed to have any type of facial hair except for 1 month a year. And as you guys know, it grows really slowly, so a month is a long time for me. I miss what time it is. There we go. What range do I keep my ambient temperature? Well, my ambient temperature actually fluctuates quite a bit. Well, here, Callan, I'll fix you right now too. So there you go. And it kind of goes with the house. So I try to keep it around 70 in the house, 75 or so in here. But if it changes a little bit in the ambient, I'm not so worried about it because the tub heat's going to adjust for it. I think that's a bigger thing. Now, if you're running a solid ambient temp, then I think you have to, be a little bit more difficult on it. So, just my thought. Anyway, on ambient. So I have 82-gram female refuses to eat, don't want to do live. Should I continue to assist feed? Honestly, JL, 82 grams. I don't know how long you've been assist feeding. It may work, What is a troll or what is their purpose or goal? I guess I'll get to that. Oh, that's funny. It just depends on the snake. I would try live, but I try live with everything. I think they start better on live. That being said, we've had a rough year with a few clutches, so what the hell do I know? We are definitely not far from being the only experts out there, if even an expert at all. As far as your question, kiss constrictors, what is a troll and what is their goal? I think their goal is usually just to cause chaos, and what are they is just kind of a waste of time. Typically, they're somebody who usually doesn't have much of a life in general, or is just very bored in the moment. I mean, we've all done it. We're very bored in the moment, and so they're online on something, just trying to, or they could be somebody we've pissed off who's just trying to. Which is just kind of funny to me, but or multis only multis. I don't know what you mean by multis. I guess I'm a little bit off on that. Oh, that's funny, Kiss. Ours typically wouldn't until our union started doing the hair for the holidays. That's what allowed us to do that. And for us, yes, troll is a mosquito. It's like something you just swat away and don't care. Mice has no issues. Yeah, Tony, a lot of times I do start with mice, and I've never had a big issue switching. But I know some people think that they do. It just kind of depends on where you're at. Yeah, ASF is great to start with if you can. About travels, so you don't get cheated again. I don't know what you mean on that. What you're talking about with travels? One pair of ball pythons to raise and breed. What would I get? Oh my god, is my budget limitless? I mean, can I just throw 37 morsels in there so I can make a lot of stuff? Uh, I would definitely want two visual exanthics. Um, one of them being probably like a killer bee fire, and the other one being probably like a pastel, oh, pin, yellow belly. That'd probably be good. That'd be a good spot to start if I had to guess. Zeus. Oh, gravels. Uh Man, I tell you what. When it comes to gravel, the only way with gravel or asphalt to know you're not getting screwed over is one reputable source. Because like I'll use tall grass as an example. If I was going to buy a straight up asphalt or a straight up gravel, and they said, "Hey, this is what it is," then I would trust them, and I would buy it from them, right? But I wouldn't buy it from people I don't know because it can be a yellow belly. A lot of people want to pass that off as something because they're just looking at the money. But a reputable breeder who's been out here a while, they look at that. Okay, gravel is going to be, you'll say, I don't know what the going rate on a gravel is right now. But let's just use a crazy number that's probably more expensive than what it is. And I know it is. They don't cost $1,000. We're going to use $1,000 though, versus a yellow belly for $100. Yeah, that's a $900 difference. Fly by night, that $900 might mean a lot to them. If you're a reputable business who's been out there a while, that $900 doesn't mean shit. And here's why it doesn't mean shit. It's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, guys. $900, $900. But why would I want to risk making $900 now to sully the reputation that I've built that's going to be my future, right? I wouldn't. And neither would places like Tallgrass or JKR. Those places that have built up that reputation that's a trustable, reputable source. They are not going to do that. So that would be my thing. Be very careful buying that. The other thing you can do is kind of do what we did, and we bought, visual. Like, we bought our highway. We have we have see, I guess it's a pastel freeway, not highway. Got the asphalt version, and we also have a Mardi Gras. And then to breed to that, I have a super yellow belly, so an ivory inchy. The reason being is I want to know, I don't want to have to play that game. So anything that looks like it will be yellow belly. Everything else will be visual. And I know that because I'm using the ivory. So it all comes down to the breeder understanding. And Reed is great, Wolf guys. He's awesome. But when you have people that are going to try to look and guess and say, oh, yeah, this one's gravel and this one's yellow belly, they don't really know. Okay, they don't. They're guessing. And if they don't disclose to you that pairing or how that was made, or if you don't trust them 100%, those are some morphs I just wouldn't buy from them. And that's also one of those things where price, you don't go for the cheapest. You go for the one you trust. And even if you're paying a little bit more, it's better off in the back end, right? So, yes. Gabriella, that's funny. Oh, yeah. If you're gone for 6 days, no worries. Make sure they have fresh water. If you got a buddy that can come by and check them, no biggie. Well, usually when we're gone that long, and I travel fairly often, I like to travel. Kurt will come up once during the week and just check the waters, remove any rodents, because we do, whether some people think it's unconventional or not, we do leave rodents in with our snakes for a lengthy time, but only on our baby. Okay, that's how you get a ban, because anti-Semitic stuff is complete stupidity. So we'll just make you go away. And everybody clap for Henry Gordon for being an anti-Semitic piece of shit. That would be great. If there's one thing, guys, I do not like, even if it's trolling, I can take a joke as good as the next guy, but when you come in to anywhere and you want to be, racist, or you want to be sexist, or you want to be anything like that, just get the fuck out. I mean, seriously. There is no room for people like that in my world. Uh, None. None at all. I just don't have room for it. I don't think it's funny. I don't think anybody else finds it funny. Uh, you're just, it's time to go. That type of thinking is 60 years ago, right? 60 years ago. And if you can't get with the modern world and you can't figure out that if you break us down to a cellular level, we're all the same, then, man, I don't know. It just, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. I really do. Uh, it's just one of those things. And I'm not coming from being a saint myself. Um, I mean, I can tell you how I used to think. It didn't have much to do with the race or Jews, but there were some things as a human being, and I grew older. I had to come to an understanding of and figure out, and I hope that you guys do as well. Not all of you; most of you are great, but people who want to run around talk about genocide, figure it out. Come back to society when you have. Otherwise, just go, man. Go take a what is it? What's the phrase I'm looking? I'll be nice. I'm not going to say that because it would be how I get banned. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, no point, no place for it. So Dwayne has a pastel and sheep pine. I need to produce one and maybe add fire. I think that'd be really cool. I'm actually trying to do the long walk. Yeah, you know what phrase I was going for. Yeah, cold shower. I wasn't going there. It's something more along the lines of something to cause you to assume room temperature is where I was going. Oh, on TGR, no, their production times are still taking 8 to 10 weeks. It just does on the racks. Walk the plank. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess sick. See that? Didn't say it. Nope. or as with a short rope. With granite gene, very little. It's not something I've really worked with. So yes. And Justin, that's absolutely true. You know, and remind me, guys, one day, and I'll share with you the story of what changed my world in thinking. When it comes to, well, hell, we got old time, right? Uh, no, this ain't the right forum for it, but we will share that sometime. Maybe I'll share it on Patreon. I'll share my story on Patreon that caused my thinking to be different. That would be a good spot for it. The best pinstripe morph I have. Oh God, this is uh, it's probably just a lemon blast scaleless head. Lemon blast scaleless head, I'd say, is probably the best pinstripe morph I have. Pinstripe is something I didn't jump into very hard, or you could be say the Xanthic pin, but we are definitely putting more through it. Obviously, with our scaleless head projects, putting a lot into that being pinstripe. I guess I do right now have a super lemon blast or a killer lemon blast scaleless head. However, I don't intend on keeping it. I do intend on selling that, so I won't have it forever. Somebody says they're trying to breed for the first time, pairing a Calabi with a normal. Oh man. Okay, here's some tips for beginning breeders. So if this is your first rodeo, first of all, be patient, right? Be patient. And yes, Urban Exotics, I've done Calico Blitz, plus I've done Calico Blitz with some other combos. Calico Blitz is awesome. So be patient. That would be my first thing I would tell you. If you don't get a lock right away, don't freak out. It's going to be the right time of year when it happens. And then just enjoy the ride. And then no matter what happens, you're going to do your best. And I know you are. I know anybody that comes into it is going to do their best their first year. If it goes great, awesome. But if it doesn't, uh, be prepared for that and don't give up. Actually, Urban Exotics, what we did is we did a Calico Blitz female times a black pastel banana. And we do have a black pastel banana Calico Blitz. If you hold on, I'll go get her for you. Show her to you. She is a young one. But since you asked so nicely about her, I will share her for you. Now, some of her siblings, the clutch has been a little bit rough. And it looks like she might be going into a shed. But here she is. So you can really see the pattern kind of coming through there. Let me put her on the black background for you. The storms can help, but they'll just do it when they're ready too. That's the other thing. So that'll get you some of what she looks like. Like I say, I think she is going into a shed, so her colors aren't really the best right now. But she is really an amazing snake, and that is one with all the genetics in it. We'll get a weight on her. I bet she's about 75. Yeah, a little off, 93. So I have not tried the black light trick, but I've heard good things about it. There's a shot on my gut, probably. Give me 1 second to put this back, and I'll be right back with you. But that's where we're at. Now, we're repeating that same pairing this year. It was my Calico Blitz's first year. So I'm hoping that we will produce more of those in the future. Unfortunately, it's been a little bit of a rough year, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I think moving had something to do with that, along with just mostly the moving. Causes a lot of stress. Probably caused me to not be maybe as good as I should be over the map, trying to get this room right, humidity wise, and set the way I want. It's been a lot this year. It's been a lot, and that's okay. Like we knew we were gonna have it. Hey, you didn't see you on here. Glad you're around. So with that though, we did lose some animals that, and I ran the numbers, and really the losses aren't any more than what they were last year. It just feels that way. Partly because I took out of the numbers the things that were caused by known genetic issues, which would be the accidental caramels we hatched. Yay. And then one medical clutch. That was just the whole clutch was a medical issue. So that's because Disney YouTube hates my guts. So they're not promoting us. They haven't for months. And you can actually see it, but they won't respond to communications. So I quit trying. Oh, I'll have to check that out, David. I didn't know you were doing videos. Again, that's awesome. So, anyway, I hope to recreate that clutch and have more success with it, and hopefully more babies out of it. She only laid 5 eggs, and one of them was super, super tiny, like a really tiny egg. I know the eggs were very big, so. Oh, balls of paradise. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you got a new job. Here's the thing. If you don't make it a month, man, it's okay. Life happens. I understand, dude. I'm not going to hold that against you at all. I know we're kind of a luxury expense, and I come back when you can. We'd love to have you, but I totally understand. I really do. Do I know what snake is in every tub? Yes, only because every tub has a label on it. So our system is this. I'll share with you really quick. You can see that everything is labeled. Some are labeled twice. I don't remember which one I showed you. Oh, I remember what I showed you. I think I showed you this for our cover shot today. So the male is the Suma. That's why he's written in green. Full. He's breeding to a black pastel female. He is locked. Look at that iridescence there. Really awesome, right? And then I also want to show you guys another one. David W. This is just because you're on, buddy. This girl here is now back on food. As you can see, there's a swell in her after laying her eggs. She is eating like a beast now. So that is really good news. This girl who struggled is also now back on food, which is also really good news. So, and then to show you that we are working on this pairing again, we might have, I don't think he's locked up. I think he's over the top of her. No, he is. He's in there. So right there is your Calico Blitz, also known as your Klitz, and your Banana Black Pastel. He is awesome, awesome breeder. So, I'm probably not going to the next show in Tinley. If I do, I'm going just for fun. But I don't have anything to sell, guys. I'm out of things to sell. Except for on Patreon. I mean, we got to do a clutch release here soon, which will probably be GHI pastels, which are freaking amazing looking. So, stealing those with beer cans to support your hobby. Oh, Timothy, dude, if you're gonna travel, 6 hours to come to that shop, bro. You need to get a hold of me and let me know. Because here's the thing with Manhattan Reptile World. So, just so everybody's clear on this, I own 25% of that shop. Kurt owns another 25% of that shop. So together we own half. Um, the thing is, that would be awesome to see, Dusty. I'm working towards that goal myself. I have a pinstripe axanthic female, and I have a super pinstripe axanthic male, both from two different places. So I'm coming at that, but it's going to be a bit. Uh, anyway, back to that shop. So I'm not there very often. Only owning a quarter of it, and I'm probably the most silent of the four partners that own that shop because I got the most other shit going on. Kurt's portion of what he does here, most of it's actually done at the shop. So that's where he spends a lot of his time, where all of our snakes are outside the shop. So I'm not there that often. So you need to hit me up if you're going to be in town, you're going to be going. If I can make it work, have other obligations, I will definitely kind of come and meet you guys there if you're going to be there. If I know somebody's coming that wants to meet us, believe it or not, I still find it really strange that anybody else wants to meet us because to me it's just weird. But if you're coming and you want to meet me, I'll do my damnedest to be there. Yeah, no shit, they must be really loud. But one of them is that was not so much, but basically I go there every 2 weeks for meetings, and then occasionally to check on my venomous stuff that I keep there. But I do have a guy that helps with that now, so that's awesome because it really freed me up. So his name's Caleb. He's great. Very few people I trust to work those. He's one I do. We actually kind of snatched him from a different facility where he was doing that and working with things like mamas. So, yeah, it's a lot of stress off my shoulders. So I can just kind of pop in, and I know that the day to day that dude's got it. It's just, it's great. Because it is, man. It's hard. You guys have no idea like how crazy much I work. Uh, oh yeah, I remember that tornado. I worked during that shit. I was nuts. You know, back then though, the shop was there, but I didn't own part of it. I had a reptile, but that was about it. I wasn't like I am now. So totally different thing. How much I asked for a bumblebee baby? Well, Gavin, I haven't actually produced any straight bumblebees this year to price them, but I want to say, if memory serves, we were somewhere around like 125 males and like 175 females. I'm trying to go by memory. It might have been like 150 males and 190 females. It was somewhere in that neighborhood. I kind of price things year to year as I go. So it's really hard for me to say, well, this is what I would be. I'm not checking, but I can tell you it'd be somewhere in there. Yeah. Oh my God, Mike, because that's crazy. Because those that don't know, so this tornado came through and it went through like a really kind of high end part of town and ripped it up, smashed this Toyota dealership, tore it up, went and ate a storage unit. And so, like, the old saying, if you're in Kansas, is if you're in a trailer park, tornadoes always hit trailer parks because there's just a mass amount of people there. And it's just the way it seems to work. So you have a big trailer park here. It's about 350 trailers, I want to say, and a tornado right here eating the storage unit that's coming for it, and it went boop up over the park and then came down, ate a little bit of K-State, then popped up and went away. So it's kind of crazy. We had the only tornado that said, let's save the trailer park and eat the rich people's house. It's kind of nuts. I can laugh because nobody died in that tornado. There was a ton of property damage. It was quite the scene. But yeah, I actually was on that street working for a long time the next day and the morning after. So doing the aftermath. So, yes, that is the same year Greensburg got leveled, I believe, or 1 year off. Don't quote me. We're usually pretty isolated from shit like that, but yeah, it happens. You're welcome, Gavin. I mean, there's no point in me not being honest. There's a lot of shit I don't know, and I'm willing to own that. All right, guys, it's been about 45 minutes, so we're going to probably hop up off of here. Kind of as we talked about, we're going to start trying to do more lives. We'll go longer, the more super chats that come in, that sort of thing. And that's just kind of how we're going to run things. And then we have to pop over to Patreon, excuse me, and do some work over there. So, Pastel SK Xanthics this year. I produced one Super Pastel SK Xanthic, one Killer Bee Zebra, or Killer Zebra SK Xanthic that unfortunately passed away, and then one Zebra Bee this year. So there you are. And I don't think it might. Well, I have to look back at when it was. I think he said 2007 was when the one that came through was Alex for here. But got kind of tongue tied. And somebody asked, when should monthly pairings stop? Truthfully, they stop when they stop pairing. That's kind of when I look for it. So, all right, guys, let me hop off of here. Slide over to Patreon. Thank you guys so much. We'll see y'all next time.